I want to give you a definition of addiction and give you some physical and biological terms that will help you, not to bog you down, but quite the opposite, just so you have a little bit of an understanding for how it starts. Now, there are many definitions of addictions, and we'll talk about that as we go. But here's one that works for the beginning. It's the state of being enslaved to a habit or practice, or to something that is psychologically or physically habit-forming, as narcotics, to such an extent that stopping causes severe trauma. So understand that addiction is the state where you're enslaved or obsessed with something to the extent, and this is how this particular definition defines it, that stopping causes severe trauma. We know that addiction is a primary chronic disease of the brain reward function, of brain motivation, of memory, and of related circuitry. Dysfunction in these circuits in our brain leads to characteristic biological, psychological, social, and spiritual manifestations. So what's happening here? Our brain is wired a certain way to function in a certain way. Just like if I gave you directions to go from my house to the store, you should go a certain specific way. If you don't go that way, guess what? You're going to get lost, not a good thing. So if you want to get to the store, you should go that specific way. So our brain's wired a specific way. Yet we learn that addiction, this chronic disease, that can actually rewire the circuitry in our mind, our thinking, so that we're lost and we have social, psychological, spiritual, and biological manifestations, none of which are pretty, none of which are good.